It's a personal choice for you to enter into any kind of a relationship. It's a personal choice. Why? Because before you can eventually decide, now I want to form a kind of an association with someone else somewhere for some reason, it means that you have already thought it thoroughly through your mind, and you've come into a conclusion whereby you feel like you are ready for this. Remember, before you can venture into any kind of a business, you must have gone around to look for facts concerning the business. You must have gone around to look for a clue or a hint on how you can be able to start this kind of a business from the ones who have already started the same kind of a business. And you must have already had enough background knowledge concerning the same, regarding on how to start, how much you need to start, how you are going to operate, what about the strategic position of the business itself, and most probably what you may expect in the event that you have already kickstarted your business on a very successful note. So it basically means that you must have put all the parameters into check before you could officially decide, now let me go and launch this kind of a business. Of course, you must have also considered the risks which come with it, because it's a life which is full of challenges, and now the same thing applies to business also. Sometimes there is a profit, sometimes there's a loss, and you must have learned on how to maximize on the profits and also to minimize on the losses. And yet at the same time, this same case applies to a relationship, whereby before you could even say, now let me get into this thing fully, you must have also done your research concerning the same. You must have understood that a relationship is never guaranteed that it's going to be smooth at all times. There will be ups and downs, there will be valleys, hills and mountains, but at the end of the day, the journey has to continue. So it will depend on how you're going to face the journey. Sometimes you want to go to somewhere, and then you are going to incur a lot of challenges along the way. Maybe there's a mechanical breakdown on your car, maybe there's a traffic jam, there are so many things which can happen along the way. But as long as you are determined with your journey, still at the end of the day, even though you'll be late, still you'll be there. So the same case applies to a relationship. You get the point? So having put all that into consideration, maybe you decided, now I want to go for this thing. So from my side, I assume that no one pushed you into it. You decided to go for it on your own terms. Alright? So it has come to a point whereby you are facing it rough in one or the other. You get the point? So I don't know if you are going to blame anyone for this. You get the point? And just in case you need to blame anyone for this, you need to blame yourself. Why? Because you are the only one who gave it a thought in your mind, and you said, now I'm ready for this. You get the point? So the same way you got yourself into this, and at some point, if you feel like it is becoming too much for you to handle, think twice about your life. You still have a life after this relationship. Don't kill yourself simply because maybe you feel like there's no life after this, simply because you feel like your mind is only confined into this kind of a relationship. Maybe there is something good somewhere. So it's on your destiny is just on your hands. You get the point? So I'm not advising you to get out of this kind of a relationship, and yet at the same time, I'm not advising you to stick into this kind of a relationship. The only thing I would like to remind you is that life is a series of challenges, trials, tribulations, temptations, and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you need to be at your personal best to face all this. As long as you are determined and you know what you really want from anything in this life, from any situation in this life, then you need to be firm on your feet, and you have to dig deeper to try to know what you need to do about which kind of a situation. So it's a challenge to you. Challenge yourself and know what you need for yourself. But remember, at the end of the day, you should put yourself up there first. Anything else can just wait. Simple.